So Anfernee Simons is now a Boston Celtic. As we knew, the Celtics were going to be making moves this offseason, but it did not take them long to make a trade. As I mentioned, Anfernee Simons is going to Boston, but they traded away Jrue Holiday in the process, but Boston also got 2 second-round picks. Jrue Holiday was great in Boston. I think he's going to do good things in Portland if they decide to keep him, but I want to talk about how Anfernee Simons is going to impact my Celtics. I think he can be a good piece. He's averaged over 20 points per game and 37% from 3 over the last 3 years. This is really how he gets his 3-pointers that intrigues me. So we're going to break down some of his film from last season. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I'm excited to break down some more film. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I had a different video in mind for my first video back, but as soon as I saw this news break, I knew that this is the route that we had to go. The first thing we're going to look at is him creating for himself behind the 3-point line. Boston got to see this firsthand earlier this season. He had a pretty big game in Boston. Here, he's going to hit Peyton Pritchard with the in-between, sidestep 3-pointer, knock it down. Boston already has a couple guys that can do this, but with Tatum missing most of, or if not all of next season, they'll need somebody else to be able to create in these situations. And Anfernee Simons has displayed that over the last few seasons since he's had the ball in his hands more. Just walk him down between the legs, step back 3 right there. Here we want to see him create. He's going to get the screen here. Max Christie does a good job getting through that screen, but then Simons with the quick sidestep 3 knocks that down. Like this possession here, he's going to get off the catch. A little hesitation between the legs, gets DeAndre Hunter stumbling, and knocks that one down. We're going to get a little ghost screen from Denny Avdia to get the switch with Julian Strawther guarding him, to get the smaller guard on Anfernee Simons. Since Peyton Watson is currently guarding him, they can see that switch. And then Simons just goes to work between the legs, sidestep 3, knocks that down at the buzzer. Here's some more action. Going to get another ghost screen from Avdia, and then Klingon is going to set the screen. And Trey Jones decides to go under the screen. Simons notices it. He has such a quick trigger on those 3-pointers, man. This is a big situation here. He's going to get the screen from Reith to get the switch with Jared Allen. This is a close game. Overtime, they're down 2. And he gets the switch, and Jared Allen actually does a pretty good job staying in front of him, but that step back creates a lot of separation to get that 3 off. Another situation here, going to get another screen from Avdia. Really easily concedes that switch. And then good defender in Keontae George, but a nice separation step back from Simons again. Ironically, I thought Orlando was a really good landing spot for Anfernee Simons, but glad we got him in Boston. Gets the screen to get the switch with the Silva guarding him now. And then again, separation, double step back. Pretty good contest, but a better shot. Boston just doesn't have this kind of twitchy guard. Peyton Pritchard is kind of similar, but Simons is another level, I think, of shot creation from the guard spot. Gets a screen there, and then a sidestep 3 as Bradley Beal's coming to try and contest, so he still creates a little bit of separation there. You can tell so much Dame influence in his game. Gonna get the screen here to get Middleton on him, and then that pound dribble sidestep 3 is tough. And back in Boston, Jordan Walsh guarding him, pretty good defender. A couple tweens, and then that pound dribble sidestep 3 again. That's just such a tough shot that Boston can really use in their offense, especially with Tatum missing a lot of games next year. Now I want to talk about some of the pull-up 3s that we saw in this game. We're going to get the screen here. Luka's going to be the defender that ends up getting brought into the action. Still gets a pretty good contest, but a great make by Simons. Could be a new dynamic in the Celtics offense. Tatum's usually the guy that is getting these high ball screens and getting the pull-up 3s with the big and the drop. But now Anfernee Simons, even with Tatum when he comes back, can be another guy that can do this as well. Going to get that, Zubac in the drop, and that's pretty much an uncontested 3. Even works inside pick and rolls too. We're going to get the screen here from Klingon. Really good screen. Bobby Portis is pretty much going to stay right here in that drop. As soon as Simons gets around, Bobby already starts backpedaling, and that's pretty much a walk-up 3 for Simons. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for Simons to get these shots when he puts on that green jersey. Even though the Celtics, their team might look a lot differently. It might not be Porzingis either at the top of the key or in the corner or setting the screen. Tatum's going to be out most of the year, but you'll still have Brown out on the court, maybe Derek White, maybe Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser. Those guys still might be around. If not, it's like Baylor Shireman. But still, a lot of talent for Boston and a lot of spacing. That's going to be their MO. We're going to see the screen here by Ayton. You got Khalil Ware back in the drop. And then pretty much a clean look once again from 3 in the drop coverage. Once again, it's just a different dynamic for the Celtics. Derek White can do this, but not really to this level that Anfernee Simons can. Jrue Holiday wasn't doing that. Peyton Pritchard just not doing this to this same level. And we're going to get this screen once again from Ayton. You're going to have, I believe, Yves Messi's in the drop. And Brandon Boston Jr. actually does a pretty good job getting through the screen. The bump kind of helped him stay in the frame. But Anfernee Simons is such a rhythm shooter, and he knocks that one down. Here in this possession, Jeremy Grant's going to come up, set another ghost screen, and then we're going to get the real screen from Ayton. And you see Domantas Sabonis, he's a drop coverage guy. He's way back there. Decides not even to step up until it's way too late. Anfernee Simons is already locked in his form, and he has such a quick trigger that late contest doesn't even bother him. It's really possible that Simons and Green might take like 10 threes a game next year just because that's what Joe Mazzulla wants. He wants his guys to get up as many good threes as possible. And just think about like a guy like Luke Cornett if he sticks around in Boston. He's going to be setting his screen. He's a really good screen setter. You can see a lot of clean looks like this off the drop coverage even though Beasley got a good contest late. Last one, and I think this one's important to use because Boston runs this action pretty often. It's where they have somebody in this same spot. They have a big up high. It's usually Luke Cornett that's in this position, and then they have a guard or wing on the backside that's going to catch the dribble handoff. So we're going to see Clean catches it here and then goes straight into an uphill DHO with Anfernee Simons. Sets the screen right there. Clean look because Isaiah Stewart is so far back in the drop coverage. Uncontested three. Last thing I want to talk about is catch and shoot stuff with Anfernee Simons. This is just another thing that Boston does because they're a dribble drive type of team. It's not really a lot of like off the move shooting like coming off of pin downs and stuff. But maybe you can even add that facet to this. He's going to give it up right there. Avdia drives, draws two. Uncontested three for Simons. You see this with Boston a lot. Off of missed shots, they love to get those three-pointers back up. We're going to see a good pass there from Simons. Good drive there by Avdia. Pretty uncontested look from Grant, but off the rebound. Going to go right back to Simons, and he's ready to shoot that catch and shoot. Boston they do that a lot. Their favorite threes to get up are the ones either in transition or off of rebounds like this. And that's a shot that he's going to get a lot this upcoming season. I want to see Joe Mazzulla implement more stuff like this just to get cleaner looks from three at times. Baseline out of bounds play. Simons was the inbounder. He's going to get this double stagger screen and get a pretty wide open look from three. Knocks it down. It might be a little understandable why Mazzulla doesn't do a lot of plays for shooters like this coming off screens because it doesn't really have a ton of guys that are great shooting off of the move. Derek White's pretty good, but outside of that, it's just Sam Hauser, and that's really it that they had in their rotation last year. But Simons is one of those guys that can be that. As we see here, inbounds play, he's down there. He's going to act like he's setting the screen, ghost it, and he's going to get the screen from Klingon right here to get a corner three-pointer up. Knocks it down. Great job navigating that screen, too. One of my favorite plays here. Here, Simons brings the ball up. He's going to give it up, and he's going to go down, act like he's cutting. So he's going to go off the screen here from Robert Williams, miss him in Boston. And then he's going to act like he's setting the screen to get Chris Murray a shot. And you see Terrence Shannon already jumps trying to get through that screen. And then the rescreen here, basically he's screening two guys right there and gets a pretty clean look for Simons. That's an amazing play that I would like to see Simons still be able to run in Boston. Give it up. Get the screen, act like you're setting the screen, and then get the rescreen right there. Beautiful look there. Great play drawn up by Chauncey Billups. But this will be another thing that he'll get a lot of opportunities to do in Boston, and that's shoot, catch, and shoot threes. Didn't shoot as many from the corners, which maybe he will see more, but the drive there by Bain gets a wide open look. That's going to be routine in Boston because that's their MO. They want to drive and they want to kick out to their shooters. The screen from Klingon, Mikal Bridges, a little bit of a flop. And he gets a wide open three off the move again. Knockdown shot. Once again, we're going to see Simons give it up here. Then it's going to go down. Pretty much the same action. Get a little screen there from Ayton. Act like maybe he's going to go out that way and maybe set a screen. But nope, he's going to get a double stagger here from Grant and Ayton. And that's a pretty tough look, too. I think Braun did a pretty good job getting through. Christian Braun did a pretty good job getting through. And personally, I'm pretty excited. I think Boston did a good job getting younger here, getting some draft capital as well. I wasn't sure what a Jrue Holiday trade for Boston looked like, but I didn't think that they would get a player as good as Anfernee Simons, and I think has room to grow as well, only 26 years old. And there might be more trades that Boston is going to make. I trust Brad Stevens as the GM to make the right decisions. Depending on what else they do, I think I'm pretty comfortable with a Jaylen Brown, Anfernee Simons, and potentially Derek White as your top three guys going into next season. The big priority, though, is extending Anfernee Simons. He's going into the last year of his deal, I believe. And this wouldn't be a one-year rental because by the time Tatum gets back, if he even gets back this season, it will take him too long to ramp up for a real championship run. But that's a wrap on this video. Let me know what y'all think about the trade. Be sure to like and subscribe because I plan on dropping a lot more film breakdowns this summer. Anfernee Simons is a Boston Celtic.